Hello again, friends and loyal WulffPack members. Chaos Within, welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now, first of all, apologies for the lack of videos recently. I was getting somewhat burnt out on video making because doing it all the time, starting to feel like a job. Decided to take a break. Then the expo happened, and ever since then, I've either been completely busy or completely exhausted. So, let's start off again. And what we're going to do now is have a look at my newest acquisition. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the JCS Valkyrie. This is my combat Anaconda. Now, I have two Anacondas. I have my original exploration Anaconda, which we're going to be taking a look at next time, and this lovely lady in front of you. And as we can see, it is armed to the teeth. It's got a huge plasma accelerator. It's also got a large plasma accelerator. Now, the reason I've got these two is, as you can see, there's the large plasma accelerator and there's the huge. So these two are right next to each other. So these are going to be pinpoint accurate when firing both of them on the same target. And they are both modified for focused weapons. They've got no experimental effects because I don't see the point in any of the plasma weapon experimental effects, at least for fighting AI, which is all I ever really do. The reason I like these is because we've got an increase of shot speed of up to 90%. That can go, well, this can actually go up to 100%. But what this means is that our shells are going to be travelling at a much faster velocity, which is great because it makes it much easier to hit with these. Looking back, we've got a bunch of beam lasers, 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small. Now, all of these are fitted with healing beams. Let me double check, except for the smalls, which are concordant sequence. Concordant sequence, that doubles the amount of regeneration that you get, which is awesome, because that'll basically synergize with the regeneration sequence, which instead of healing, regenerates the shields instead. So the small ones are going to be doubling all the regeneration we have. So we're going to be having regeneration from 2 mediums and 2 larges. They are all going to be doubled because of the 2 smalls, which works really, really well. All of these weapons are grade 5 efficient modifications, so I can fire these virtually all the time. Now, the reason we've got 4 of them in turrets is because if I'm in a wing, or even if I am in multi-crew, I can fire on our own ships a lot easier. If I'm in multi-crew, I can fire on the fighters to heal them, or if I'm in a wing, I can fire on wingmates a lot more easily. Moving on to the utility mounts, I've got 4 shield boosters, 3 heatsink launchers, and a kill warrant scanner. Now, the kill warrant scanner I'm not entirely sure I'm going to keep, but it's there for the moment. Chaff, I don't see the point of in large ships like this. All of these are modified. The shield boosters are modified for resistance augmented. So we are going to be getting resistances onto every type of damage apart from the Thargoid damages. Kill warrant scanner, this is modified for lightweight, and the heatsink launchers are modified for, where is it? Here we go, extra ammo capacity. It doesn't tell you, but it has an extra ammo capacity on there, which is awesome. It means that I've got 12 heat sinks to the 10 shield cells that I've got. So I've got more, just enough. And maybe more, if a couple of extra if I start overheating because of the plasmas. Which is, I think, is great. It's really nice to have that option. Because normally I usually go for, on large ships at least, I'll go for efficient plasmas. But because I want to hit things more consistently with this one, and the plasmas are underslung under the nose, I do think that the focused increase to shot speed or shot velocity is much better. So I have to deal with the extra heat. Into the core internals, virtually everything is A-rated apart from the sensors and life support. Power plant is going to be overcharged, but only by grade 1, because we don't need that much. What I did is modified everything else on the ship first, and then worked out how much additional power I was going to need. Thrusters, as always for my large ship, well, any ships, these are grade 5 dirty drives. Frameshift drive is modified for increased range. Life support has been modified for lightweight, but this is only grade 4. Now, I think that's the maximum you can get on life support. Power distributor has been modified for charge enhanced, so our regen rates are a lot better. Now these aren't as good as humanly possible. The maximum is 36, so this is ever so slightly lower than that. I did get a god roll on these where it was 38 on most of them and 45 on the weapons, but I swapped that over to my Corvette. And lastly, for the internals, the sensors are modified grade 5 lightweight. Moving on to the optional internals, we can see that I've got, as always, bi-weave shields. And I know a lot of people really don't like me having bi-weaves on big ships. They're like, Chaos, how can you be so stupid? Why are you having such low megajoulage on a big ship? First of all, it's not always about big shields. You just have to know how to use them. Because what these are modified for, as we can see, is thermal resistant. So I am getting an increase of 51% thermal resistance. I'm losing a little bit of kinetic resistance, but even one of my shield boosters, which I have 4, more than makes up for that deficit there. At the end of the day, the shields on this ship tank a lot more. Every megajoule does a lot more work. And because I'm using shield cell banks, they are restoring more percentage-wise of my shields because of the lower megajoulage, and every single megajoule is working a lot harder, which means that each of my shield cell banks are doing a lot more work as well. Now, this may not be your cup of tea, it is mine. I like flying my ships like this, and I think these are great, because not only do I like making the megajoules work harder, the bi-weaves are amazing for me as well, because they regenerate faster. So if I'm in a wing, if I am solo bounty hunting, it means that I have to use fewer shield cell banks to keep my shields up. The main reason I don't like heavy duty shields is they take so long to regenerate. Ships with upwards of 3,000 to 5,000 megajoules of shields, it's insane the amount of time it takes to regenerate the shields, and I don't want to spend time sitting around regenerating shields like that. Moving on, we've got both of the shield cell banks, and these are rapid charge shield cell banks, so that they don't spend as much time spinning up. In fact, they actually spend about just shy of 40% less time spinning up, which is great. So there's less time between pressing the button and them doing their job. And next, we've got a double fighter bay with 2 Condors. One Condor with fixed multi-cannons and the other one with gimbaled pulses. So the reason I have these 2 is either I can do multi-crew and have a player in one and the NPC in the other, and still have a gunner, or if I am solo bounty hunting, or if I'm bounty hunting in a wing, I don't have to wait for the build sequence to complete before I can send out another fighter. I can just cycle between the 2 of them. Next is a 5B fuel scoop, because you need fuel to get from one place to the next. The main reason I got this ship is because I wanted a combat ship with longer legs, so it could get to places faster. My Corvette is amazing, but it can't get anywhere at any great speed. Next is a collector limpet controller for when I am picking up materials for the engineers, some cargo racks for limpets and other cargo, a planetary vehicle hangar, because I like to make all of my builds at least somewhat multi-role, unless I have built the ship for a specialised role, such as my trader. Next, a frameshift drive interdictor, 2A, and a module reinforcement package in the military compartment. Because if by some reason my shields do go down, I want to protect my thrusters, power plant, and other modules long enough to get out of combat and to be able to jump to safety. So that's what that's there for, to soak up 60% of damage from the incoming shots. Taking a look over onto the fire groups, it's pretty simple. I've got 3 fire groups. Button 1 on every single one of them here are the beam lasers. First fire group, second fire button is a data link scanner and the kill warrant scanner. Second fire group, plasma accelerators on the second button, and third fire group is the collector limpet controller. Every single fire group we've got the frameshift drive interdictor because, as I've stated many times, the frameshift drive interdictor does not work in real space, so there's no point having its own fire group for it. You can put it onto every single one, and you don't have to go fiddling around trying to find the specific fire group you're looking for. Taking a look over into the modules, you can see that I'm currently running at 103% power. This is very easily dealt with. That's basically all I do is have the frameshift drive interdict to turn off when I pull my weapons out. Again, I don't need a specific fire group or button for this, because it's going to be turned off when I'm in combat anyway. And as for everything else, I've got the really important stuff of running away on priority 1, so thrusters, sensors, frameshift drive, all those kind of really important things on 1. Anything that isn't needed in combat is on priority 2, in case my power plant gets sniped and I end up at only 50% outputs. And priority 3 is everything I don't need in combat, apart from my Collect Olympic controller and my cargo hatch, because I still want to be able to pick things up, and I need to have my hardpoints deployed for that. But anyway, that's enough talking about this ship. Let's go and take it outside for some maneuverability testing. It's got grade 5 dirty drives, but it also does have a good amount of weight behind it. First thing I want to have a look at is how fast does this thing accelerate from a standing start. Now, we're not going to boost this because we're just going to see how fast it accelerates under its own steam without boosting. Now, as you can see, it accelerates rather quickly, and its standard cruising speed is around about 270 meters per second, which is really not bad for an Anaconda. Now, slowing down is a bit of a different issue, I should say. It does slow down fairly well, but it's a lot slower than when we are accelerating. There we go. Now boost stop. Now, honestly, most people are going to be doing this, and as we can see, we've got over 340 meters per second on that. We'll see how many meters per second we can get. 300 and nearly 60. Can we beat 360 meters per second? Can we do it? Just touched it. 360 meters per second of boost speed. It's really not bad. Next thing to do is just to see how fast this thing turns while in the sweet spot. So, let's go and give it a try. As you can see, it turns really, really quickly. That's grade 5 dirties for you. This is a very, very maneuverable ship. We'll do a boost turn quickly with flight assist off. I do enjoy this. But anyway, that's enough of mucking about with this. Let's go and shoot some stuff. And as usual, for looking for things to shoot at, we're going to go and hit up a Has-Res. Looks like we found our first targets, a wing of wanted Asp Explorers. Not exactly a fair challenge, really, but we'll give it a go. So, first volley. Almost got his sheet. Almost took his shields completely down. Would have helped had I remembered to put pips into weapons, but we're doing well as is. Wow, their shields just melt. Yeah, we gotta be careful with our heats. It would help if I was paying attention to our target indicator. And as you can see, we're getting hit by railguns and stuff, and our shields are barely even noticing. So let's drop a heatsink because we are overheating a tad. Oh, there we go. Nice little plasma hit on him. And there we go. That's that one dead. Another reason I enjoy using a couple of turrets is because if they are smaller ships, it is much easier to target them. There we go, we saved him. And even though we weren't the main focus during that exchange, our shields held up remarkably well. Here we go, here's something that looks a little bit more challenging. Now, even from this range, we could theoretically hit him with the plasma accelerator. I'm a little bit out of practice with my plasma accelerators at the moment. And I'm purposefully not using my large weapons because I'm trying to regenerate my weapons capacity ready for the plasmas. There we go, we got him. I don't think he hit us at all, though. Another wanted third lance. Ooh, nice hit on the shields. We can still do a lot of damage with just our beam lasers. And thankfully, because we've got a couple of turrets and the rest of them gimbaled, we've got a really, really good arc of fire. So even if we are being outmaneuvered, we can always output more damage. I know I've only got 1 pip into engines, but that's all I really need. This guy is extremely maneuverable. And we got him. But as you can see, it's a lot easier to hit him with the focused modification. Simply because of the much faster velocities on our munitions. Here we go, we've got something a little bit large to sink our teeth into. Now the question is, how are our shields going to hold up? Alright, let's let him shoot at us a little bit. I'm just sitting here. I guess it's one ship against one, but it's not doing anything to me, as we can see. I mean, let's have a look over. Actually, it's down, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. My shields. Wow, look at how fast they are going down. I am in serious danger of losing my shields. And I've not even launched out my fighters yet. Yeah, there you go. I think you've had your fun. How'd you like it? There we go. Just let the turrets do their job whilst we regenerate some weapon capacity so we can fire our plasma again. And we've got an Anaconda. This is going to be a nice little test as well. Is this a wanted Anaconda? Please be wanted. Yep. There we go. Now we've got 2 ships on us. And again, only 1 pip into systems. Let's get rid of this guy now. This feels more like a fair fight. Launch out another heat sink. Keep our temperature down. There we go. Now time for the Anaconda. You are a much easier target to hit with my plasmas. And as you can see, my shields are going down a touch. So, let's bring them back up, shall we? Oh, you're having trouble against me, are you? And again, shields are getting a little bit low. So let's regenerate them again. Now the main issue is because they're rapid charge. There we go, we killed him. What I need to start doing is actually hitting my heatsink first and then my shield cell. You can't hear it for some reason, but it is actually doing its job. And there we go, that's the shields back up again. As you can see, I was really under no problems there with my shields, even though I had almost no pips into systems. Normally, the question I would be asking right now is, what do I think of this ship with X this or X that? No, that's not really what we need to ask today. It's more like, what do you guys think of my ship? I know a lot of people don't agree, or some people do not agree with the way I outfit my combat ships. They think that I have way too few megajoules into my shields, which are entirely welcome to your own opinions. It's just I really do like the way I have mine set up. This works for me and I really enjoy flying this ship. The reason I got it in the first place is I wanted a ship with longer legs, so it could travel further faster. And I've got exactly that. I love this ship. It is a lot of fun to fly, but I want to know what you guys think of this. If you're interested in this ship, I'm going to be putting the Coriolis build link of this ship in the video description so you can check that out yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think of this ship and what you would change, if anything. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. And until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.